Hello and welcome back to episode 4 of the Lockdown Challenge here on Championship Manager 97-1998. And before we get into this episode, if you would like to drop a like on the video, that would be absolutely amazing. Just to show, help the algorithm out, as one of the comments said recently. Yes, that's how sort of close I'm recording them, I guess, between the comments. So that episode 2 just dropped and that was a comment on one of them. Did make me chuckle. And if you like this sort of content, I've got some other things in the pipeline as well, so drop a sub if you like this sort of stuff. Retro games, Championship Manager, old football games, all sorts of stuff. I've got all sorts of retro games, retro systems. If I can figure out how to record them, I will certainly be doing my best to bring them up. So, and any suggestions of things you'd like to see on the channel, any games you want me to play through, give my opinion on, that sort of thing, all well and good. But without further ado, let's jump into how the results have gone since that last episode. The last game, I think, was York in the FA Cup, which we won comprehensively 4-0, with Kiota getting the hat-trick. Now, he hasn't quite, unfortunately, kicked on since then. We managed to grab a 2-1 win against Bristol Rovers, which was goals courtesy of Graham Tomlinson. They did grab one, I think, in between. In between. It was all very late goals, but we grabbed the win, so very happy with that. We then faced Hollywood FC, Wrexham. This was a very tough game. We'd also lost in the Bristol Rovers game. I don't know if you noticed it. We lost Centurion. He was out for 6 weeks, so a big influential player. So we had to bring Tony Thorpe in. He's there at number 11. He's a bit of a mixed bag. I had seen him play quite well, more on the left side of the front three, so I might have to switch him around with Michael Twist a little bit. There is a little bit of experimentation, but as you can see, Chris Kiota only getting a rating of a 6, so not good enough. But we snatched a 2-1 win. Rory Ginty, that winger we had, he also got injured for 9 months, so I have released him on a free because we're not going to be able to use him again. He's only like 12k to release or something, so even if we do count those release fees, we're still nowhere near what we've recouped in transfer fees, so we're absolutely fine on that count. We then had Watford in the windscreens. We grabbed a 2-0 win. Mike Conroy back in amongst the goals. He has now got 20, so we're just the 10 shy of the target we need, which I will put up at some point. If I haven't already, I will put it up. I'll mention it again. Ronny Rosenthal in there for Watford, not doing the best. Famously hit that crossbar shot, if you remember, back in the early 90s. I think that was for Liverpool, I think. I might be wrong. It might have been Tottenham. I think it was Liverpool versus, was it Watford even? Memory's a little bit fuzzy on that one. It's a long time ago. We then played out a 0-0 draw in the FA Cup third round against Division 3 Swansea. Not great, not fantastic. It means another game as well, which I'd like to have avoided. Part of me almost thinks I'd rather have gone out than had that, but the board do like you doing well in the FA Cup, so there is that side of it as well. So a replay coming up there. I think we have played it. I think we have gone past that point. We then saw out a fantastic 3-0 win against Millwall. I think Millwall were a little bit lower on the downside, and just before this game, between this game and the Watford game, we signed Festus Agu. He was on our shortlist as a replacement for Centurion. I know he's only out for 6 weeks, but you know what? He comes highly rated. I've seen a few people talk about him on a few different websites and blogs and that sort of thing, and Twitter and stuff like that. So I've given him a go, but unfortunately he's also injured for a couple of months. So Centurion will actually be back before he ever plays. Hence, Tony Thorpe is in the team, grabs a goal in this game, getting an 8. So a bit of an improvement there as Mike Conroy grabs another 2. Obviously that leads to his 20. That wasn't 20 at that point. That's 20 now. With the Festus Agu, I double pressed as I was accepting the deal, and it came up with the injury, and I was like, so I had to go through it. I could probably free him, and it probably wouldn't cost very much, but you know what, we'll keep him at Fulham, and I think he's probably got a minimum, a big club release clause. So if I want to pick him up further down the line, that's something I can maybe look at, but I'm not too sure we will be in this save. But I was just hoping to give him a try out, but unfortunately that won't come to be. We then did have Swansea in the FA Cup replay, and we are out. So we couldn't score. I think that was pretty much the story of both games. We couldn't get any shots on target in this one. They had a fair few chances themselves, and they did score late on. Tony Bird, grabbing one for them, putting them through to the third round, the real rounds where the money would potentially come in. But do you know what? We can concentrate now fully on the league. I mean, we've got the windscreen shield as well, so I wouldn't be too disappointed to see us go out of that. We've got that coming up. But yeah, that was a bit disappointing. And then we finally had, well no, not finally, we got a couple more to talk about. We had Watford at home. Another disappointing result there, straight on the back of the Swansea game to lose 2-1. Bearing in mind, we're not resting too much. We haven't got outside of our first 11, our squad isn't that amazing. But it was another goal against the run of play. I mean, Swansea's was a bit against the run of play. We were pressing, had the possession, they went up the other end and just banged one. Similar result in this one. We were against the run of play, 1-0 down. We got an instant reply through Graham Tomlinson. As you can see there, the stats very even. Probably deserved a draw. Probably didn't deserve to. Maybe they had a couple more shots on target. We had the possession. Hard to say, but on the same minute, Tomlinson pulled one back. But then they went 2-1 up literally from nothing. It was just a Griffith shoots, Griffith scores. It wasn't even a build-up, a rebound. I know that there's the big rebound ones where they come off the keeper, come off the crossbars, and they quite often it feels like it keeps on rebounding until they score. But yours will like do a couple of rebounds and disappear out of possession and whatnot. But yeah, this was just out of nothing. I hate those ones. It just comes up flashing in their name, and it's very, very annoying. But we did bounce back against Northampton 4-0, and they were actually second as we had just dropped to third. We were top. I think we went top. The Millwall game actually we went top, but yeah, we dropped to third after the Watford loss. Conroy bags one, Twist gets a double. Doubles the lead even, and then Conroy gets his second, our third, before Lauren rounds it up to make it 4-0. Puts us back top actually, so a fantastic result there, much needed in the grand scheme of things. And at this point, we did drop Jonathan Turnbull. That was his 21st game, so we could have actually got away with not even playing him in that one. So he's now out of the equation, and we don't have to worry about him anymore. We can actually put an option in the midfield slot for the bench we want, but due to injuries, we haven't actually got any. So at some point, we will be able to. I think Centurion is on his way back, so that's something to look forward to. Plymouth are bottom of the table. I actually went a bit further ahead again. It's a bit of a common theme. With where we've gone. I didn't really mean to go this far because this was on the 27th of December, and obviously we actually wanted to come back for the Northampton game, didn't we? But I skipped, went one further, actually went past Christmas and played the game after Boxing Day, which was Plymouth. I'm just enjoying the game. Do you know what? I start rallying through, and you just where it gets through so quick, you do just kind of get drawn in and just carry on, and then before you know it, the season's done. But Twist made it 1-0 before an own goal on their part made it 2-0 to us. It was John Sheffield, the goalkeeper, actually. We've had on an older version of the game. I think it's the 95-96. He's absolutely immense, or he was absolutely immense for me, but own goal in this one, so he's still immense for me, I guess. Heidenstrom made it 3-0 before David Brown, who obviously was a player we looked at, ex-Man United striker, went on and made it 3-1, which brings us to where we are now. And we are away to Carlisle, a few games. We'll try and squeeze a few in. I'm seeing that the timer on the recording already creep up. It just rallying through the results really does make it creep up. We've got David Rocastle wanted by Preston. He's on the bench at the moment. We've got Matt Lawrence playing at the moment, wanted by Bournemouth, who I think are below us. Yeah, Agu. He's out for about a month now with torn ligaments. Centurion, we're just waiting on his fitness here to come back. He's only on 86% there. Could do with him back. And anyone else who came out that has got to go back in that I'm forgetting about? I don't think so. Kiwomya, yeah, he didn't really kick on from that hat-trick. They're the only 3 goals he scored this season. Conroy, we're just desperate to get him to those, is it 30 goals we've got to get him to? I'll pop up the targets now. I'm going to add the little ticks on as we go as well, because obviously we've ticked off Turnbull now, so he can be ticked off. I don't think there's any more. And I'm just seeing a text come through from my landlord. Having a bit of problems with our bathroom at the moment, so you might have heard that. It was probably my watch you heard buzz rather than the actual phone. But yeah, we'll jump in. I've just done a save. I don't even know why, just instinct. I always like to save on these older games just because you never know when they are going to just drop. And I thought we were ready at the game. Rosenthal, I always see his name come up and I don't remember him as a player, so I really don't know whether as we get manager of the month. Fantastic. Have we got any of those before? No, it's our first of the season, which, considering we've been a fairly consistent team, is a bit of a tough one. Bit of a tough pill to take. But you know what? As long as we finish top or second at the end of the season, that's us knocking off our achievement. So I'll absolutely take that. But I thought we'd be at the game. I normally leave it before the game. I think we're there now. So Carlisle 5th in the league. So can we build on that? We've got Lawrence playing in on the right, I think. Yeah, which means we've moved Tomlinson inside. Because Thorpe has been a bit hit and miss, and Lawrence has done okay. We'll keep Thorpe. Well, Thorpe's actually on the bench. Rocastle is at the moment. We're going to switch that around. I think we're good to go there. We'll stick with that, and we'll see if we can get a result against Carlisle. as they go ahead in 1 minute. 5th place Carlisle at home at Brunton Park. Hayward, I don't know who that is, but he's knocked us down a peg or two as we built up this little run of, run of form in the table. As Conroy, that's what I like to see. Us getting back in the game, Conroy getting the goal. I don't care how we win, but if Conroy can at least chip away a couple between now and the end of the season. I mean, we're only in January now, 3rd of January, just gone past the New Year's Day games, or this is kind of the New Year's Day equivalent of game. If he's a long way to go, and Lawrence doing more than Thorpe already. Well, he's equalised Thorpe because Thorpe got 1 goal, didn't he? I think in that little run of games he had, and I think he scored one earlier in the season off the bench as well. It may be in one of the cup games or something when I rested a few players. Conroy again, 3-1, 38 minutes, absolute turnaround. And all of our goals have ended with an 8 at the end of their minute. Conspiracy theory, possibly. Do I care? Do I not? As we get to half time, we'll see what's going on. A lot of 8s. Rufus Brevitt. The fullbacks are an issue. I think if we had money and time, we obviously got money, but we need to keep the money under control. I'd definitely be looking to upgrade those 2 positions. I've got a left back in mind, but he's just not. His club aren't willing to sell him at the moment. As Mekanesby, the right back, who I think used to play for Bolton. Let me just check that. We'll check it as soon as we can. I think he used to play for Bolton. Yes, he did. I vaguely remember him in the old Premier League sticker albums from the 90s being in there. As we go 5-1 up. And what looked like a terrible, terrible start. An own goal from Hayward. The same guy who scored their goal. Another 8-minute goal. Obviously, Mekanesby's. Oh, it's 8 or 1, basically. Theirs is on the 1st. I was on the 61st, and the rest are all ending in 8. It's a bit of a pattern in this game. Well, we've just gone past the 88th minute, so we're not going to score any more goals in this game. Stefan Puniwachi, a player I mentioned, he's doing a good season, having a good season, but wasn't to be today. Steve Hayward, I seem to remember, did he actually end up going on to play for Fulham? Oh, my memory, I used to know all this stuff. I could tell you, any player, I could tell you what club he played for, what country he played for, blah, blah, blah. Now, my memory is just like a sieve. It's work facts are pushing out useful facts of my mind. So, with that in mind, we're going to cut to the next game, which I can't remember who it is, but you'll see shortly. Okay, we're back, and amongst that, it's actually a cup game now, so I can't show you the league table. I was going to cut to the league table, which we will do on the next game if we play one more, which I'm hoping to be able to. It is Millwall, same division as us in the, I think it's mostly Division 2 and Division 3. I think it always is for windscreens, but I think you normally see a lot of Division 3 teams have normally filtered out, but there's still a decent number left in here. But yeah, we've had a bid for David Rocastle. Preston have finally bid. I think it was 130 they bid. So if he goes through, that will be another little bit of money in the pot. Centurion, he's on 100%, so he is coming in. Although I'm probably going to bench him because Lawrence actually did quite well and got an assist, and his rating's going up. Although Centurion's rating and overall stats are better, I'm going to ease him in. I don't want him getting injured again, especially in a cup game. I'm not too bothered about the cup. If we lose this game, I mean, I could have rotated, but as we go 1-0 down. But like I said, we've got bigger fish to fry this season. This is really about keeping the momentum going, keeping the morale going, and just really hoping Conroy can just chip another couple in, just to get that total, rising up a little bit for the season. We are in the back end of the season now. After we got past Christmas, it's all thick and fast, and we do need to sort of really keep an eye on Conroy and just keep his goals coming through, and obviously keep our form coming through so we can push on for that promotion that we need to get this season to get the ultimate points. Also, I think it will help us, which will become clear on the next when the next challenge sort of comes up, what we need to do. It will help if we get promoted. We don't need to get promoted, but it will help as Laurent gets an injury. That is not part of the plan. We're going to bring in Centurion, but we are going to... Am I going to drop him down? No, do you know what? I'm going to leave him there. I'm going to leave him where he is. I don't care that it's out of position. We haven't got anyone really that can play there, and it might actually help him to get a few minutes. And it gets me to keep an eye on Lawrence a little bit more as well. Gives him a chance to, stake a claim for his place in the team, or at least on the bench. Once Rocastle goes, he's probably kind of set. Conroy. Yes. Do you know what? I'll take going out of Conroy getting 1 or 2. I don't care. Conroy, as long as Conroy chips away. We're nearly there. He's on, 23 now, I think, Conroy. He gets the rebound, but Twiss is on the rebound. Keeper saves it, bounces back to Twiss, and we are 2-1. We are going for it. I mean, the good thing about going through these cups is that it is goals in all competitions. So the longer we're in them, which would have been for the FA Cup as well, I suppose, at least one more round, you're in there for more games to give Conroy a chance to score. His average is goals per game, doesn't matter, it's just 30 goals. So the more games we get as a chance to him to score those, I guess all the better. But this red card should hopefully see us through, although we know red cards don't always mean anything in this game. Another injury, are you kidding me? This is the worst result we could have had. 2 players injured. I mean, I suppose the worst result would have been Conroy getting injured because we've got no one else who's going to get close to the 30. So, I mean, he's nearly there. He's nearly there, I think. Now, he's got to be close. 23, 7 to go. He's got 13 assists as well. So, what's that? 36 goal contributions in 33 games. That's not bad, is it? What's the next game? So, the next game is Luton at home. Luton are mid-table. Everyone we seem to play seems to be mid-table. We are top. They've got a game in hand to bring it to within 3 points, Northampton, as do Blackpool. They'll be a little bit further behind. Bristol City can put a little bit of pressure on, but they'd still be 10 points if they win. So all good. So we'll be back for that game. I've forgotten who it was already. Luton. We'll be back for the Luton game. Okay, we're back. It's the Saturday, which I assume is the date of the game. Most games in this division seem to be on a Saturday. Yes, they are. There we go. 12th place Luton. So Rocastle has gone. Duncan is out for a couple of days, as is Laurent, so it's not the worst case scenario. We're going to switch that round. We're going to bring in Baquero for Laurent, and we're going to put Jeff Brazier on the bench. Maybe try and get him off the bench and see what he can do. Centurion's going to come in for Lawrence, and then Centurion with Tomlinson, and we're going to keep Conroy in. Conroy is actually going to be suspended for 2 matches on the 21st of January for his disciplinary points, which he's got 7 yellow cards, 21 points. So, not great. But for 2 games, it shouldn't hurt too much. I mean, the cup games have boosted that a little bit, I suppose. So, you know, suspensions happen, red cards happen. As long as he's not injured and it's, you know, long term, that's worse. Suspension I can live with for a little bit. As we're piling on the pressure early on, not scoring just yet. Baquero scores. Now, he's done okay when he's come in. The problem is we only place 2 centre midfielders, and one of them's Heidenstrom, so he's not getting dropped. Laurent's been playing fantastic. Baquero hasn't quite got the physical attributes left over. His pace and all that's on the decline. But it's a good backup to have. It's a good choice to have. If we can get a decent lead in this game, which I'm hopeful, not expecting but hopeful, we'll try and bring on Jeff Brazier to have a look at him in the second half. See what he can do. I don't want to give too much pressure on him because that change in the key position in this team could weaken us. If we've only got a one or 2 goal lead, they can rattle off 2 goals so easily, no problem. Don't worry about that. As we get to the 15-minute mark, just after half-time, and Kelvin Davies, I remember him. I think he went on to play for Wimbledon, something like that. A few other teams maybe. I do remember him being quite a bright prospect. Never quite lived up to it, I don't think. As we've got 65 minutes on the clock, 1-0 isn't quite happy enough for me to bring on Brazier. I don't think. If we can grab one more soon, I'd like to give him 20 minutes, but do we take the risk? Well, Conroy's had a stinker, so Mick Quinn's coming in. We haven't even got him on the bench. I changed number 15 after all that. So we're going to bring off Centurion because obviously he's just come back from injuries. His fitness and stamina could be a little bit on the lower side. As we get into the last 5 minutes, not much is happening. Hopefully it stays that way and I'll take a 1-0 win. I will take that all day long. Anyone in their team? I remember Gary Waddock for some reason. Steve Davis, not the one I'm thinking of. Robert Keane, no. Kelvin Davis, obviously young English goalkeeper. Simon Davis, I think that is the... Is that the Simon Davis that played for Tottenham? It must be. I know he went to... He started... Where did he start? It was Peterborough, I think. But maybe he actually started at Luton. I don't remember that. I remember him being at Peterborough. And I think Tottenham signed him from Peterborough. Along with like Matthew Everington. There was someone else at Peterborough as well back in those days. But I think we're going to wrap it up there. We'll have a look at the quick look at the league table once it loads. But I think that will be it. Three games, that's what I try and aim for at least. Even though they do rattle off quite quick, they do still take a little bit of time. And there's obviously the talking beforehand. There's Northampton wins 6-3 against lowly placed Bristol Rovers. Anything else to report in that regard? Anyone dropped away? It doesn't look like it. But we have still got a decent, healthy lead. Northampton have still got to go and win that game in hand. The goal difference is starting to look a bit nicer now as well. We've obviously scored more. It doesn't always feel like it. We've conceded a couple more as well, but it wasn't always the case. We've had a few big results that have definitely boosted that. But we are going to end the episode there, and we will be coming back. When will we be coming back? As we're just going to make that change. No, we're not. We're going to keep Lawrence on the bench, actually. So fixture wise, we are going to be coming back for... Oh, we've got Blackpool next. This would have been a better point to come back to, wouldn't it, really? Bigger game. We've got 2 Walsall games in there. I don't want to do 2 to the same teams in my lives. So we'll come back. We'll probably look to come back around sort of mid-end. Yeah, Southend, Preston, Gillingham, somewhere around there. So we'll only have to play a couple of games, and we'll be back for that. And then we're kind of in the last stretches of the league. So probably only 1 or 2 more episodes left of this season. Plus there will be one probably in the middle as we go through and sort out the second season. So yeah, we're going to leave that there for now. If you have enjoyed today's episode, please do drop a like. If you're liking this content, like I said at the start of the video, anything's similar, drop a sub on the channel. I'm bringing all sorts of stuff like this to the channels in the coming weeks, coming months, hopefully, as long as my situation stays the same. A couple of Football Managers bits I've got in the pipeline as well. So if that's your bag, that should be coming as well. So yeah, until next time for episode 5, I think. I'll see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.